What up, y'all? I'm gonna show you how I build hairpin legs today. I'll be putting them on this tabletop I made a while back, some reclaimed barnwood, and that's some 1-inch square tubing on the edges. Yeah, so this is my first video ever. I'm nervous. I'm gonna get through it. Just more a video of like me getting over some camera anxiety. Also a how-to video, so I hope you learned something. I hope I learned something. And yeah, I'll show you how I build them. Okay, we're gonna cut our 3/8 solid round bar. I'm gonna be cutting 4 at 50 inches. So we'll do a little time lapse action for that. All right, we got our 4 legs cut. Now we're gonna cut the mounting bases, if you will. So that's just gonna be this triangle. And this is 4-inch by 1/8 flat bar. Nothing fancy. Come over to the saw, change it to a 45. And we'll let her eat. All right, we got our 4 rods, Dennis Rodman. 4 rods cut. We got our mounting tabs cut. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these guys up because the edges are pretty brutal. So, I'll show you that. All right, we got our edges nice and cleaned up, smooth. Set those aside. Move over to my jig. Nothing fancy. Maybe I'll make a video on how I built it when I get famous from this video, from all the views that it'll get. But this jig works pretty well most of the time. I'll show you what I got going on here. Whew, all right, got our legs bent, looking good. They're a little uneven, if you can see that on the camera. That's okay, because I actually built these big intentionally, so we can cut them down so they're nice and even. So I marked out on the table 23 inches, and I'm just gonna line them up, eyeball them. There's a bunch of eyeballing going on. So I'll trace one out where I want it, where it looks good. Come down here, mark that. And then essentially I'm just gonna scribe a line straight across. And that'll give me 23 inches plus an inch from the square tubing on the table. So we'll be right at 24, pretty close. That's a reach. Got our legs marked up where they need to be cut. So we're gonna boogie on over to the vertical bandsaw and slice them up. We're gonna drill some holes. 1/2 inch in, all the way around the perimeter, 3 holes, and I'm gonna use a 7/32 bit. That's where I wanna be. All right, I skipped a couple steps because I was getting flustered. Mad respect for people who build and make videos because that shit's tricky, a little frustrating, but we're on track. What I did is weld this piece of scrap tube to my table, nice and plumb, and then I clamped my base plate down to the table, and that tip right here lines up with this tip. So these are in plane because I like my leg a little splayed out. It's kind of like a nice little groovy touch. Anyhow, we're ready to tack these up. I use anti-spatter, spray it down, helps with any kind of weld boogers you might run into. So here we go. All right, got them tacked up. I like to double check that they're even before I put them to bed. So for that, just throw a level up top. And we're looking pretty good. Maybe a 30-second off in the middle one, but it's all right. I got carpet, so we're right there. So now I'm gonna clamp them back up on my post and full weld them. Peep it, we are fully welded. I don't know if you can see that. Come over and clean it up with a wire brush. Get all that soot off of there. So, should look something like that when we're all said and done. Nothing too crazy, not too much heat, but they're on there. Almost there. All right, got them brushed. Next I'm gonna clean them up, a little acetone, get any grease off of there. I'm gonna be finishing these with just a metal oil, because I'm lazy. I haven't decided what I want to do with them ultimately. I might paint them down the road, but for now I'm just gonna put an oil on them, and if I want to paint it, I can just acetone it off. So I'll show you that stuff. Right, now clean rag, some metal oil, and you just pretty much apply it as you would like a stain. Pretty light coats. This will just keep it from rusting. It'll give it a little bit of a sheen. Like you can kind of see it's a little shiny. It'll dull up over time, but it's a pretty sweet finish for, you know, if you can't make up your mind, or if you have an interior piece that looks cool raw. I really dig it. I mean, it's like dries in, I don't know, an hour, and it actually hardens. It doesn't stay oily, so pretty sweet stuff. It is gnarly though. Probably gonna throw on a mask because I don't want to be breathing this. No sir. Woo, home stretch. Got my table flipped over. I'm gonna line up my base plates with just the corner because that's how we're gonna do it. So essentially, looking something like this. Boom. I'm gonna use these guys. They're not permanent, but that's what I got for now. Just a self tapper, and I patinaed the head on that so it'll kind of match. but I'm gonna time lapse it so it's nice and quick. Here she is, all done up. Pretty happy with it. You know, down and dirty. Nothing too fancy. It's for the house, so you know, cut little corners, but all in all, it's a sweet little piece. Whew! First video in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun. Hope you guys didn't cringe too hard at me. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. I feel slightly more confident than when I started, so that's all I need. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up the shop now and get out of here. And I'll take a little pic of it installed, but yeah, love you guys. Appreciate the support. See y'all. Didn't like that on how to make some, or how I make, fuck. Ooh, any more slack.